And then we walked in, like they told us put your wrist up so we can see your wristbands. And there was a tall guy in front of us, so we were trying to hide behind him. But at the door to like actually go in the hallway or whatever, because there's a whole bunch of doors before you actually see Justin. So that door was either make it or break it. Like if we did not get past them, we were done. But we did, because there was a guy on this side and a guy on this side, and it was like double doors, and then was a guy in the middle. The guy in the middle was just saying like, get your wristbands ready so you know we can check them or whatever. The guy on the two sides were actually checking the wristbands, but they weren't really like looking one for one. They were just like, you know, there was a whole bunch of people there, so we kept trying to like scoot as close as we could to the people that were in front of us. And I was gonna go to this line because that's the line I was supposed to, or this door, because that was, I couldn't fit because there were so many people. But then he was looking at me, so I was like, no. So I went through the first door and the guy didn't see me, so that's how I got through. I don't know how the other got through, but we all had jackets, so you couldn't see our wrists. So after that we kept walking and walking, and we went, I think, did we go up the stairs? Yeah, I think we went up the stairs. And then after we got up the stairs, that was like it. Like we were freaking out. We waited at the line for like 20 minutes, and then we started going into this room, and they separated the lines into 3. And the first line I think had like VIP tickets or whatever, then the second line is where we were at, and then the third line were just last people that were last or whatever. And we waited there for an hour or 2, and that's where we saw Kenny again in the Segway. He was like riding around or whatever, and we kept calling him but he wouldn't come over. And then we saw, they were all telling us like Justin Bieber's not even in the building yet. So we were like, oh, are you serious? So we just sat down and waited and waited and waited. Then Dan Cantor came in the door, and I saw him, and I was just like, Dan Cantor's in the building. And I just started yelling, and everyone looked, and they all started freaking out because no one saw him but me. And they were all like, oh, Dan, Dan. And so they all started taking pictures of him, and me and the girls that were with me, we just kept calling it. We were like, Dan, take a picture with us. He was like, later, I can't right now. And then I was like, wait, if Dan's in the building, that means Justin is too. And so I kept taking pictures of Dan, and he kept going around the lines like meeting people or whatever. And yeah, it was amazing. And so this, and like right, it was like 15 minutes before we got in like the room that Justin was in, and the guy told us, if you have anything to give to Justin, give it to the person who's like right in front of Justin, like before you go actually in the curtain to meet him. So that's what we had to do, and we didn't have anything to give him. So we were like, oh, I feel terrible. So we got the idea. This girl had a paper, and it said that tweet that Justin had tweeted, and it says, if you don't have a ticket, find a way to get in. And she printed that. And so we all signed that with our Twitter names and saying I love you and all this stuff, and we were gonna give him that. And then I got $1 out because I was like, he's gonna think this is funny. So I got $1 out, and I wrote "we snuck in," and I put a winky face, and I wrote my name all over it. And so we folded that and we gave that to him. And I don't know if he read it or not, but hopefully he did, because I mean, it's pretty funny. So after that, we got in the room where Justin was in, and this guy that was in front of us, he was from like a radio station or whatever. He was telling us like, yeah, I'm gonna be interviewing Patty in a couple months, and you should really check out my radios and whatever. I wasn't even paying attention because I was too excited. And he gave us his card. Shout out to you because you were awesome. It's WTRU.com, the Truth Radio Network. Yeah, so he gave us this. Well, he gave it to me. He didn't give it to anyone else. So then my sister saw his shoe, and Justin's shoe, and she started freaking out. She was like, oh my god, I saw Justin's shoe. And I was like, no way. There was two black curtains, and every time someone opened it, you could see Justin. But there was what was it? It was like, I don't know what the heck it was. It was like a wall, maybe. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. But it was something blocking the view, and we couldn't see it until we went around the corner. So I go around the corner, like after the line kept moving up, and I see Justin's face, and I'm just like, is that Justin Bieber? Oh my god. And I start freaking out, and I tell the girls I saw him, and they start freaking out with me, and I started to cry, and then I made them cry, and they were like, no, I'm gonna mess up my picture. So they stopped crying, and I just kept crying and crying. They were trying to calm me down, but I was freaking out. It's Justin. How could they were like, he's just a normal guy. I was like, no, he's Justin Bieber. So we kept walking. The line was going by fast, actually. So we got to the front of the line, and the plan was for two of the girls to hug him, and I was supposed to hug one of the girls, and the other two were supposed to hug me and the other girl. So that didn't go like that, because I was like, no, I did not go all this way to hug a girl. I came here to hug Justin. So they kept talking, and I was like, okay. So I cut them, like I went in front of them, and they were giving the paper to the guy and the dollar to give to Justin, and the lady was calling us to go to meet Justin, and the people were still taking pictures. Like the people in front of us were still taking pictures with Justin, and I ran to her, and I was like crying. She was like, calm down, because your picture's gonna be bad. I was like, I don't care, I can't stop crying. And then I saw Justin, he, like, the people left, and I saw Justin, he looked at me, he was like smiling, and so I was like, oh my god. So I kept walking slowly to him, and that's when the girls came. They were late, I don't know what they were doing, but I started walking slow to him, and they started pushing me, and I was like, what? So I ran to Justin, and I gave him a hug, and I was like, I love you so much, Justin. I kept crying, and he like giggled, and he was like, I love you too. Oh my god, it was awesome. And then so I was the one to hug him, and I was like all upon him. I'm gonna put a picture at the end, and I looked terrible because I was crying, and yeah, but I like hugged him or whatever, and so I put my arm around him, and I was this close from touching his butt. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I didn't touch his butt because that's just bad. And he was, you know, he had his arm around me, and oh my god, if you have not seen Justin in person, oh my goodness, he looks like a doll. Like, he's short, he's tanned, and he's so small. He's like this little, like, oh my god, he's so adorable. If you see him in pictures, you're just like, oh my god, he's so hot. But when you see him live, you're like, he's human. It's like, what the fuck? He's so hot, oh my god. Yeah, but right as they took the picture, they were trying to like shove us out, so you know the next people come out, and I was like, no. So me and the other girl started hugging him, and I was like holding on to him, and I saw a hand come right here, and it was the security guy, and I was like, no. So I just kept holding Justin, and he was like, whoa guys, whoa, because you know it was 6 of us attacking him, and he, again, short, he's like 5'4", my size, yeah, 5'4", and he's like this skinny, and he was wearing sunglasses and a little hat, and I think it was black tank top or white, black, and then he was wearing like, I think it was dark green or black. Those, you know, those pants they're like leggings ish. They're like big on top and then really tight on the bottom. Yeah. See, he was sagging those. Oh my god. Anyways, so I just kept grabbing onto Justin, and so then I left because I was like, you know, I gotta go. So I left, and I saw Kenny again. I was like, oh, Kenny, but I wasn't paying attention to him because I was still freaking out about Justin. So we all were hugging each other and like screaming as we were walking. Oh look, I'm getting goosebumps. As we were walking out, and there was another door, and we went through that door, and it was like a little lobby, and the guy from the radio station, he recorded us. He was like, how do you guys feel about meeting Justin? And we were just like screaming on top of our lungs, and he recorded that, I guess, to put it on their site or something, I don't know. But yeah, after that we went outside and we had to make this huge line to get inside the Coliseum for the concert. Oh my god, the line was super long. And so we decided like just to talk to the people that were around us. And so we told the people that were in front of us how we snuck in and we got away with it. They were like, oh my god, you're my idol, I love you so much, you're so awesome, and all this stuff. And we told them the story or whatever. We were all talking at the same time, so they probably didn't get it. But we were just so excited. We were all crying. We were calling our parents and friends and whatnot, and we were just crying, freaking out. And everyone was just looking at us like, what? But we were excited. Like, we met Justin Bieber for free. And it wasn't even planned, so it's like,